Hello, this is Mouse Gunner. Welcome to War Thunder. This is a pretty diverse game, encompassing mostly World War II. I think it goes a little bit into the Korean War as well. Now, the main part of the game, or the game previously, was uh, aviation, air aviation combat. But I'm playing the tank combat right now. Now, I'm pretty new to this game. I haven't played it a lot, so you're probably not going to see the most stellar gameplay out of me. This is arcade mode, so it's a lot of player assists are activated to help you, which I'm definitely going to need because I'm really still trying to grasp a lot of the gameplay in this. Now, I have played World of Tanks, which would be the main competitor to this, and I have played that a lot more. I technically prefer this game because it's much more realistic. The problem with my opinion of World of Tanks is it's much more arcadey. It's still a fun game, but I think once you get into the higher tiers of the tanks in that game, it starts becoming a little bit too arcadey for me. Alright, I had view on a tank there, an enemy tank, but I can't see it anymore. I have to be kind of careful in this position. Alright, there's an enemy tank over here, which is what that red text is letting me know where the tank is, but I am not really being able to see. I don't have a really clear view of... Alright, I can see this one, but I don't have the best shot at it because he's in cover. So as much as I could hit him, I don't think I could hit him and penetrate him. So I'm going to try and move. I kind of like the position I was in because I felt a little bit cover, but I'm kind of behind a hill here, so... Now that tank I can see that it's there, but it's behind a hill for me, so I can't really see it. And because the enemy forces captured that A point, which is the only capture point on this map, we're in trouble for winning. I'm not sure how I missed there. Looked like I had a pretty good shot on him. Come on. Somehow I just keep missing. My crew in this tank's pretty green. I haven't really upgraded them very much at all. I just got this tank not that long ago. This is the Panzer 38T. And the tank in front of me just got flamed out. So I don't know if you can see this little plus mark when I'm over this tank. That gives me an indication of if I hit it, would it penetrate their armor? Red, obviously, it wouldn't. Okay, I killed that tank. So the other tank I can see is over here, but he's got really good cover. So it's going to be hard for me to hit him. Now I have this other tank over here that I can see, but it's very challenging for me to hit him. He's pretty far away, and I just got hit, so I'm going to back off. I did have a good span of time there where I was able to get some hits in. But I'm getting hit, and I think it's because I got flanked here. Luckily, I was able to back out. But this guy just keeps hitting me. I'm not really sure how, because I don't see how he sees me right now. But, very dangerous position I'm in right now. Let's see if we can flank them. So I'm going to go around this way. Hopefully not get killed. So if you're a history buff, the Panzer 38T Alright. Unfortunately, he killed my gunner, so I wasn't able to really respond to his... well, he didn't kill my gunner, but he... Oh. We must have just lost as that, I got killed there. So, I mean, that was decent run for me. So this is pretty much the wrap-up of the combat. Usually you'll get research points to improve your tank. So I'm telling it what to research here. Yeah. Okay, apparently I unlocked something. So I'm just... selecting what my research would be. So, yeah, there's research, you have modification research that, you know, improves different aspects of your tank, which is what I was getting right there. And then you also research to unlock actual tanks. So this is the tank I'm researching now. So, because I'm pretty new to this game, I don't have a whole lot unlocked yet. Most of the stuff I've done is the aviation. I actually didn't do a whole lot with the tanks. The tanks is pretty, hasn't been around, tanks haven't been around as long as the aviation aspect of this game, so there's a lot more aviation, countries with aviation than tanks. I'll get into that a little bit here in a second, just to show you a little bit. So this is pretty much what I did. So I was able to kill one tank. I got one critical hit. I hit tanks 5 times. And then I also died once, which that is not listed here, but if you go here, so I'm pretty much kind of a little bit on the upper part of the middle of the pack. I died once, I got 1 kill, and I got, you know, a score, and the score is depending on different things that you do during the match. Our team pretty much got massively outclassed. If you look at the other team, the difference in the score is massive. The number of kills these guys got is massive. So we were definitely overmatched as far as team-wise, but yeah, you know, that happens. Okay. So I guess I completed the research for this tank. So now it's asking me what the next tank I want to research is, and I'm going to pick the Panzer III to research. So I'm going to go ahead and research that. Alright, so this is obviously the tank that I was playing with, the Panzer 38T, the A version of that. And then another tank that I have, and this is pretty much your starting tank, is the Panzer II Model C. And these are both Tier 1 tanks. Just to show you a little bit of, you know, these are German tanks, obviously. So these is kind of like the tier of the different things that you're researching. So right now I'm in Tier 1 because I'm pretty much starting off. So I researched the Panzer 38T, and I researched the Panzer II Model F. You start with this one. I'm currently researching the Panzer III. And, you know, these are the various tanks that are also in the first tier. Now, the only other country that has tanks so far is the Soviet Union. So I have a T-26, which is the tank that you start with. And then here's their research tree. So these are all the Tier 1 tanks here, Tier 2 tanks, Tier 3 tanks, Tier 4 tanks. So I'm currently researching a BT-7. I haven't gotten that far into the research. I have played much more with the German tanks than the Russian tanks, but in both cases I haven't played a whole lot. Now the aviation, you will see some planes here. Right now I have it switched to the tank battles, but if we switch it over to air battles, those will now be lit up. So there are several countries: Soviet Union, United Kingdom, Japan, Germany, and the U.S. Now, as far as the aviation goes, mostly I've been playing with the U.S. Again, I haven't been playing a whole lot. I'm still on Tier 1 tanks. It's more recently that I got into War Thunder. I'd been playing World of Tanks, and then there's also World of Warplanes that I played a little bit. I really didn't like that. The aviation combat in this game is way better. The overall mechanics are more or less the same, or at least the idea behind it is more or less the same. But the combat in this I find dramatically more realistic. For one, in World of Warplanes, the planes have like hit points, which is the same thing you have as in World of Tanks. You have, the tanks have hit points, the planes have hit points, what have you. And as a result, they pretty much make the higher tier planes significantly better than the lower tier planes, very unrealistically so. And in my opinion, that caused me to really not really like that game. Just to give you an indicator of what I mean is, so if I go in the research path of the U.S., you look at something like the your P-47 here. Well, that's probably a bad example. I'm trying to think of a good example to give you. Oh yeah, you're here. Your P-40. So okay, your P-40 has 6, 50 caliber Browning machine guns, right? Well, the P-51 Mustang has 6 50 caliber machine guns. So realistically, they should do the same damage. It is the exact same, caliber, the exact same number. You should have the same firepower in both planes. Well, as far as I could tell in this game, they do a very good job of representing that. In World of Warplanes, that is not the case. The amount of damage that the P-40 does is dramatically less than the P-51, even though the firepower that they have is exactly the same. So it makes absolutely no sense. Yes, the P-51 is a better plane, but there's reasons that it's a better plane than the P-40 outside of its firepower. But the way that they do it in World of Warplanes, every aspect of the P-51 is better than the P-40. So, it's not just the firepower, it's everything. The P-51 has more hit points, so it can sustain more damage. Those 6 50 caliber machine guns, they do dramatically more damage than the 6 50 caliber machine guns in the P-40. So if a P-40 was facing a P-51, it would be impossible for the P-40 to defeat the P-51. Not unless the person flying the P-51 was completely and totally incompetent and just flew there and let themselves get shot. That's pretty much the only way a P-40 would beat a P-51 in that game. In this game, I feel like lower tier planes could have a realistic chance against a higher tier plane. Yes, they're going to be at a massive disadvantage for various reasons. They're going to be slower. More than likely, the higher tier planes will have more firepower. They'll be faster. They'll have a lot of advantages that the lower tier planes, they won't have. And for that reason, it would be difficult to beat a higher tier plane. But in my opinion, the way they do it in this game, it's actually possible. If you have a really skilled pilot, it's possible. But the way World of Warplanes did it, it was not. So, that's kind of my issue with these games, is essentially there are going to be some planes and tanks that are better than others. And essentially what you're going to see in games like this is most of the people are going to play as the tanks or the planes that they feel are better And if you are in that tier with them and you're playing anything else, you'll get massacred. I feel like this game does a better job, at least for the aviation aspect, of narrowing that gap. So yeah, there are some planes that are better than others, but if you're competent and you fly the right way, you can play with a not as superior plane and still do well. So that's kind of why I prefer War Thunder, at least to World of Warplanes. Now, World of Tanks, I think, does a better job of balancing things. I still think it's definitely more arcadey than this game is. This game, I feel like they represent things much more realistically. But I do have issues with this game as well, and I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. And if I can, I might tack on some more gameplay footage. I just don't want you guys to sit here while I load up sometimes you can wait a little bit for a match. So I'll just say Mouse Gunner signing out, and I may or may not add footage onto this.